You're on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have week 13 of the Outlaw Racing League. Turning 40 lap features here around Volusia Speedway tonight. Got qualifying on track right now. Looks like Ryan Stillwell nudges out his teammate 2/1000ths of a second, Grant Wesley, at the top of the board right now. We got Chris Cox sitting in third. Grant Wesley, lap 2, not going to be any better, sitting in second right now. Ryan Stillwell staying out for a little bit of practice time here. Rick Gibson and Michael Vitale finishing out your top 5. At 11 drivers here tonight. Outlaw Racing League has had a pretty hectic week, honestly. I've not been in bed before 1 a.m. any night last week. Getting drivers, successfully pulled in 32 of some pretty fast guys. So excited for season 2 here in a couple weeks. Looks like nobody's got anything for Ryan Stillwell, sitting at the top of the board right now. Pretty spread out field. Got a 0.8 of a second gap over the whole field right now. Scott Schroyer, Jax Yon split up 4th and 5th between 1/1000th of a second. Rick Gibson sitting in 6th. Michael Vitale 7. Anthony Vitale Jr., Jason Henry, Jesse Baker, and Eddie Neal wrap up the qualifying field. Rolling off into Heat 1, we got Ryan Stillwell, Chris Cox on the front row, Jax Yon, and Michael Vitale. Second row, Jason Henry, Eddie Neal sitting on your third and final row. The 3rd through 6th drivers all out of Outlaw. So we got a Outlaw Racing, Animal Racing, and Top Secret Racing team drivers in your field here.
Gonna battle it out tonight here at Volusia. Welcome back. Got your 6 Racing Network and the Outlaw Racing League getting ready for some great dirt street stock action in the great state of Florida. Heat 1 is out on track. Clayton, thank you for covering for me real briefly as I got my act together. The 09 car, that's Ryan Stillwell, Animal Racing driver, on the inside of the front row. Chris Cox to his outside. As Clayton said, we do have 10 laps here to get it done. We're getting ready to go green in heat number 1 at Volusia. Clayton, it's great to be back, my brother. I hope you had a great weekend.
Oh yeah, it was a good one. Well deserved, that's for sure. Not as good as you did though.
No, that was a ton of fun. Looks like a 09 of Stillwell gets out to a lead over the 515 of Chris Cox. Chris Cox, Jax Yon in the 24 taking a peek underneath. Jax Yon looked underneath the 515. Chris Cox, the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa, currently running in P2. Ryan Stillwell on the point. Looks like Stillwell's running a little bit higher line. Somebody into the wall behind these drivers. As 1, 2, 3 are nose to tail. Jax Yon running a bottom exit on turn 4. Now he pulls up side by side with the 515. Will Jax Yon on the bottom underneath Chris Cox into 515. They make contact. Jax Yon coming off 4. It is nose to nose at the line. Jax Yon and Chris Cox for P2 on lap 4 of 10. Michael Vitale in P4 watching for one of these 2 or one of these 3 to make a mistake. Let's go on board with Jax Yon and see what it looks like from the driver's seat. Chris Cox takes his entrance. Looks like the 09 running right on the cushion that will move up throughout the night. As is Jax Yawn. He's running up high on the, or high as far as the track is concerned by wear so far. As he tries to close in on the 515 of Chris Cox. Stillwell led flag to flag. I gotta tell you, I would have paid top dollar for a track this smooth this weekend. I gotta tell you that for sure.
Yeah, part of me thought you were at a mud hole watching the onboard. Definitely a very, very soupy track, but as always, man, super stoked for you on that track. There's no better feeling being at a racetrack and getting to climb in a race car yourself there is awesome. Happy for you, man. Wish you the best this upcoming season. Like I said, when in doubt, throttle her out, and I don't think it'll be very long seeing that 22 beautifully wrapped race car in victory lane.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. We got 2 weeks, we do it again. Up front, Ryan Stillwell at the line. Chris Cox, he's closing in. 515 dives down low, slides up into the 9 a little bit. Those two are going to battle it out. 2 laps to go. Jax Yawn now falls back a little bit. As Clayton has alluded to in past broad go, they make contact. Will that open the door for the 24? We're going to go 3 wide. Not going to work. It will be Chris Cox. Michael Vitale will pull up into second. The 213 looking at a front row by finishing second. Chris Cox will take the win, followed by Vitale, Yawn, Neal, Henry, and Stillwell. Well, that was a little bit interesting.
Yeah, 3 wide there. Looks like Jax Yawn just kind of squeezes in the middle. Can't blame him there. Final lap, shooting for a little bit of room. Chris Cox comes up. Ryan Stillwell comes down. Tough break for that 09.
Grant Wesley in the 88 car will start on the inside of his teammate. Scott Scheuer in the 57 on the outside. Anthony Vitale Jr., Rick Gibson on the inside of row number 2. And he has Anthony Vitale Jr. on his outside. And Jesse Baker will round out your field of 5 drivers. 10 laps, heat 2. We should go to the feature right after this. Grant Wesley and his teammates. So Animal Racing front row. And on the inside of row number 2.
Newcomer in the back here, Jesse Baker. See what Jesse can do.
Green flag is out. We are underway. Grant Wesley takes the lead. He's got the 57, the driver out of Florida. This is home track. The 57 of Scott Scheuer to his outside. Animal Racing 1, 2, 3 currently as Scheuer tries to take a peek on the inside of the 88. Clayton, these Animal Racing guys, they don't cut each other any slack, it doesn't seem.
No, not a whole lot. A lot of respect between the guys, but each and every one of them are so close in talent. It's hard to pick a favorite over there. They definitely know how to run clean and hard with each other. Top 3 looks like we're going to get tight here a little bit. See what these Animal Racing guys can do up front.
Looks like the 88 car breaking away from the field just a little bit. Scott Scheuer in the 57, and he's got his teammate behind him. That is the 38 of Rick Gibson. Behind Rick Gibson is Anthony Vitale Jr. and newcomer. We'll get him on the air here. That is the 17 car of Jesse Baker. Jesse, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining the Outlaw Racing League. Just getting his feet underneath him, I'm sure. Doesn't want to go out and cause any problems. We got a lead change up front. Scheuer gives the 88 the right rear there a little bit. Scheuer will take the lead in the 57 on lap 5 of 10. He's able to close in on the 88. Thought Wesley was starting to pull away from the field here. Scheuer able to recover. Now the 38 peaks inside of Scheuer.
Yeah, watching that 57 off of 2, he's able to catch almost a really nice moisture patch off of 2. We see the right rear in the slick right now. He's more than likely going to lose a little bit of speed here, but off of 2, that 57 is hooked up, and that gave him the advantage to run down Grant. Couple clean laps doing that. We're going to see here again if he can catch it side by side with his teammate on the backstretch.
Yes, they are. And while we're at it, the 38 car, that is Rick Gibson. I'd like to thank Rick for his service in the United States Navy. Actually stationed in Oklahoma. So thank you, Rick, for your service, sir. Up front, they're battling it out. The 57 and the 88 side by side. Coming to 2 to go. Scheuer down low. The 88 car of Wesley running a little higher line. That middle's starting to get slick.
Yeah, Grant Wesley's back to the lead now at the line, 0.07 of a second over his teammate. I think Grant's can kind of keep his teammate pinched down there to where he can't get up. If Scott comes up, we see there he gets into the slick.
One to go.
Scott really at a disadvantage here. 1 to go.
Again, it's that car who finishes second who gets the advantage. I don't think they're thinking about that right now. Scheuer dives it down along the inside fence. Wesley outside, coming to the line. 3 cars under a blanket. Wesley, Scheuer, Gibson, Animal Racing finishes nose to tail.
Yeah, I want to bring up our new guy here, see what he's thinking of the night so far. Jesse Baker is Clayton in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, we saw that 17 car kind of just cruising around the back. Still getting comfortable with the guys out here, man. That 17 feel pretty good around Volusia tonight?
Not bad. Had a little help, so was doing a little better. I'm not real used to dirt street stocks, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I think last week running with you and getting you involved with Outlaw, I think these guys, some of them may not know how good Jesse Baker really is in a modified. So I'm sure season 2 of the classes being the 358s and the big blocks. But even here tonight, that big block modified at Volusia, man, you pretty stoked for that race?
Yeah, I'm not real good at Volusia, but I'm definitely pretty experienced here the last couple months in a big block. So we'll see how we do. These guys are real fast.
Alrighty, well, we wish you the best of luck in that 17, man. Thank you for coming out, and we wish you the best of luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Getting ready for our feature race here. That was newcomer Jesse Baker. Sorry about that. Took me a minute to find him. It's always kind of nerve-wracking to get into a new league. You're not really sure who's who and what goes on. The 17 car kind of rolled around in the back. Can't wait to see him in a modified. That sounds like it's his forte there. Did you race with him in a modified, Clayton?
I did not do much racing over the last week. Really, it was just putting up a quick practice, qualify, 30 lap features in the 3 season 1 class cars, and then the driver poll that we had put up for next 3 for season 2. We're going to run the 358 modifieds and then the pro late models, and then our nightcap will be big block modifieds. So Jesse came out to the modified races, and man, he was almost Grant Wesley fast. Yeah, he's one of the front runners for sure in those races. Very clean, knows where to find the moisture even when it seems there's not. We started most of our races at 50%. Track pretty slicked off, and Jesse's still able to find speed. So I'm excited for that 17 car in a modified.
Yes, sir. 57 Scott Scheuer will roll off on the pole. 213 Michael Vitale on his outside. I'd like to thank Michael for his service to our nation and the United States Air Force. Grant Wesley on the inside of row number 2 with the 515, the Des Moines, Iowa driver to his outside. The youngster Jack Yond rolls off on the inside of row number 3 with Animal Racing Rick Gibson to his outside. Eddie Neal will roll off 7th, and the 21 of Anthony Vitale Jr. will roll off in P8. Jesse Baker Jake Henry will roll off P9 with Jesse Baker in the 17 P10. Ryan Stillwell, we saw that animal racing driver lead a ton of laps, but he will roll off at the tail end of the field. Up front, getting ready to go green. Lights are off on the pace truck. Scott Scheuer takes the outside. He's got the 213 below him.
Yeah, I think he
40
learned from his
laps.
heat race there. I
Yeah,
think he learned from his teammate in the heat race that the top is definitely the place to be.
Green flag.
Yeah, what I like about Volusia, the top does come in, but sometimes that bottom, super late, you can sneak up on somebody down there. So we'll see how that plays out. As Scott Scheuer gets out to a lead, Michael Vitale P2. Grant Wesley in the 88 puts the chrome horn to the 213. Trying to bump draft with Michael Vitale in the 213. Jax Yon in the 24, running down low, slides up to the middle groove. Chris Cox now in the 515. We're going to go 3 wide at Volusia. Yon down low, Chris Cox. We have contact. The 38 on the pit road.
Yellow flag.
Yes, the caution comes out. Well, that was interesting. A little quick exit from the track. As the drivers tried to get up to the pace truck here, we made it 3 laps.
Yeah, Rick Gibson shoved down pit road during that incident. Looks
Yeah,
like we're gonna get singled out here.
Pretty good piece of driving there. Exited right onto pit road, did not damage the car. We will go green next time by, as we are lining them up. Scott Scheuer takes the outside once again. Got Michael Vitale on his inside, the 88. His teammate Grant Wesley on the inside of road number 2 with Chris Cox to his outside. Pace truck will exit this time by.
Ryan Stillwell's already picked up 2 spots. I don't think that Animal Racing 09 is going to be in the back that long. I think we'll see him, if we could stay green, get through this field pretty easily.
Pace truck is off, leaving the field to the 15 of Scheuer. Not a great start by the 213. Scheuer gets away clean. Chris Cox and the 38 go with him. Now Vitale mixes
gets
it up.
loose.
Yikes, gets into Jax Yon. So Jax Yon's night just gets a little bit worse here. Let's take a look at the replay. That is the 21, the black and gold car. Oh, he had a little help getting around there. 318 gets into the back of the 21 very slightly. As they make contact with the 24, we will line them up and try again.
Scott Scheuer taking the top.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
17 car getting the wave around here. So Rick Gibson will get his position back from that contact where he went down pit road by not by his own choice. And he will come up. Looks like he's lining up 5th. So, pace truck is off. We're lined up, getting ready to go again. Scheuer on the outside. Chris Cox on the inside. Which line will prevail? Chris Cox thought about sliding up. Didn't have any room with Scott Scheuer to his outside, but he will make that bottom stick. 5:15, Des Moines, Iowa driver Chris Cox to the point. Scheuer fighting back on the bottom. It will be Chris Cox at the line. Michael Vitale in P3. Grant Wesley in the 88 with his teammate. That is Rick Gibson in the 38. Eddie Neal in the 318. 17 makes contact with Jax Yan. They're able to drive away. A little bit of contact there up front. It looks close. Cox and Scheuer battling it out.
Something about that
left. Go ahead.
That 515 at these bigger dirt tracks, Knoxville, Charlotte, Volusia, Chris Cox definitely has a feel for these half-mile, 3 half-mile dirt tracks. He's definitely showing right now.
We're on the left rear of the 515. Scott Scheuer down low. Take a peek from Scott Scheuer here as he exits turn 4, heading towards the flag stand. Those two are going to stay side by side, and we're side by side with the 38 car in the 5th position on the outside looking in, ready to capitalize if a mistake is made. This right here is an example of the quality of race drivers that are in Outlaw Racing Leagues. These guys have run 2x2 for the past 3 or 4 laps, not making contact. Now Scott Scheuer with the slide job. Crossover from the 515, can't make it stick.
213, Michael Vitale might be the winner here if he can get it down to the bottom and out of the slick. Could hit that moisture patch. There it is. Hits it. Driving away from the 57. Scott Scheuer back to his right rear. We'll see if Michael Vitale can't make that bottom prevail like Scott was early on in the race.
Scheuer trying to battle back. He's losing ground. Put the 213 in P2. Michael Vitale. Scott Scheuer falls back to P3. Rick Gibson is up 2. Grant Wesley in the 88 has fallen back 2 positions. Ryan Stillwell up 5 from the start. Clayton called it from the beginning. 09 coming to the front.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. These guys are battling and holding each other up a little bit, and here comes that 09. If he can get around, does he have anything for Chris Cox? We saw him in a position to win his heat race. You know that 09's fast in almost anything he drives. Definitely the dirt street stocks. We'll see what he can do here in these final.
We're going to go 3 wide. Yikes. Contact made between Stillwell and Vitale. Both drivers able to drive away, but they fall back a little bit. Chris Cox now pulling away from the field in the 515 on lap 15 of 40. Grant Wesley, Scheuer in second. Grant Wesley third. Rick Gibson in P4. We are nose to tail. Volusia seems to get that way sometimes. Back in the back, Jesse Baker battling it out with Anthony Vitale Jr. Those two side by side. Ryan Stillwell bump draft with the 213. It looks like Chris Cox got out to a big lead, but we saw that with Scott Scheuer in the heat race also, where he was able to make up ground. That line didn't work in 1 and 2, but that 57 was closing in. As your top 4 are nose to tail. Rick Gibson in the 38. Michael Vitale in the 213 has fallen back. Him and Ryan Stillwell in the 09. Those two beating and banging on each other. Jesse Baker in the 17 car running back in P9. Running with Eddie Neal in the 318 side by side.
Even in the back of the pack here, these guys are still running super clean. Eddie throwing a slider here on the 17, not going to clear him. I know it's the back of the pack, but these guys still so clean even back there. You know, so thankful to see that going on all throughout this field right now.
Yeah, you know, in the cockpit, man, no matter where you're running, you're having your own race with whoever's around you. So these guys are, testament to the quality of driving in Outlaw Racing League. Chris Cox still at the front of the field. Scott Scheuer, he took a peek a couple laps ago. We are on lap 21 of 40. We have made it halfway. Cox, Scheuer, Wesley, Gibson. Who has the long run setup? Chris Cox looked like he slowed up on entry. Kind of blocked the 57 of Scott Scheuer a little bit. That opens the door. Wesley had to hold up. Rick Gibson took a peek on the inside. Michael Vitale still battling it out with Stillwell. Those two will get nose to tail and try to track down this lead pack. Jax Jan still digging in the purple 24 machine. Rick Gibson and Grant Wesley side by side.
Yeah, if you're Chris Cox in that 515, that's what you want to see right now. You want to see those Animal Racing teammates start to throw down between each other. You could pull away. Looks like he's sitting at 0.4 of a second the last few laps, but still keeping composure up front. Got Anthony Vitale into the wall a little bit here.
And Ryan Stillwell able to get by Michael Vitale. Vitale will dive down low. Can't make it work. We're going to go 2x2 for P3. The final podium position up for grabs. We got 4 Animal Racing drivers in the top 5. Scheuer, Wesley, Gibson, Stillwell. All Animal Racing drivers in your top 5 tonight. Chris Cox coming to lap 26 of 40.
Take a look at what happened to Eddie Neal here. Oh, contact with the outside wall. Looks like the wheel disconnects or something. He just loses steering halfway down the backstretch.
Jesse Baker's. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Clayton.
Just confused as to what happened there on the 318. You don't see that out of Eddie rarely ever, and he just straight into the wall halfway down the backstretch. The wheels just turned straight. They were turned to the left, getting ready to go into turn 3, and then straightened out right into the wall. Tough break for the 318.
Let's take a look. There it was. That is the 318 on the backstretch coming off of turn number 2. Straight into that outside wall. You're not kidding. 318 takes it to the pits. No caution came out. Up front, Chris Cox still leading on lap 29 of 40. Rick Gibson starting to get antsy behind his teammate. We'll go on the right front of Gibson here. As he's looking underneath the 88 car.
Scott Scheuer makes contact with Chris Cox in the right rear. Wow.
That was right in our face there. Scheuer falls back to P4. Will Grant Wesley be able to track down the 515 on lap 31 of 40? That 38 car made contact also, Clayton. We were on board the right front, and boy, Chris Cox was in his face in a big hurry.
Yeah, he definitely did not expect the contact between teammates there. If you're Chris Cox, though, that's what you want to see in your mirror. We got all 4 Animal Racing guys nose to tail right now. Chris Cox, you just hope that they start to battle to get around each other rather than get single file and try and run you down. You want them to start racing themselves and pull away with an easy win here. Up to a second now after that contact is Chris Cox's lead over the field.
Scheuer and
Rick
Wesley
Gibson.
still battling it out.
The yellow flag is
Gibson's
out.
loose off of 4. Caution's going to come out.
Let's take a look. That's the 38 sits sideways there. Running in P4 behind his 2 teammates. Gets up in the loose stuff. You can see that wheel crank to the left.
It just snapped to the left. Yeah, it never goes back to the right to try and correct himself once he gets out of the dirt there.
Well, that's something Chris Cox didn't like to see here with 6 laps to go.
Yeah, you gotta. I don't know. You gotta
7
think.
laps, I guess.
There was a little bit of suspicion on the crown jewel we ran last week. Was the contact with the inside tire on purpose to get a teammate back to the back of the leader?
The sacrificial lamb, if you will.
Yeah, now seeing that, man, I do not know.
But the 38 car, he turned to the left, and boy, he went straight into the wall there. But we saw also something strange with Eddie Neal, with his car going straight into the wall. So,
Yeah, looked like that car lost steering too. I don't know. We'll definitely have to talk to the guys about it and make sure.
pace truck is off.
Green, green.
Here we go.
Good restart by Chris Cox. Grant Wesley now in P2. Pulls up to the left rear of the 515. Cox, Wesley, Scheuer, Stillwell, Michael Vitale still in the fight. Throws the 213 down low. Jax Jan, he's not done. The youngster in the 24 in P6. Jesse Baker staying out of trouble in the 17, moving up through the field. He's moved up 3 from his start. Rick Gibson battling it out with Anthony Vitale Jr. Eddie Neal and Jake Henry have exited for the night in the street stocks. Chris Cox able to hold his own. Looks like Scheuer trying to run a little bit lower line than the 515. I guess if you want to beat him, you can't run the same line. He's able to pull back up to that left rear. Chris Cox slides up high. That's running in the slick there.
Yeah, Chris Cox needs to just try and get out of the slick. Running the slick right now. Can't get a good drive off the corner. Needs to get above it if he wants to keep that 57 behind him.
Good run off too. He's in front of the 515. Can he slide up and close the deal, or will he keep running that middle? Scheuer has found something in that middle lane. We're riding along with Scott Scheuer out front, running right through the slick. 1 lap to go. Scheuer, Cox, Wesley. Now the 09 of Stillwell wants in the battle. Will Stillwell able to do anything with the 88 of Grant Wesley? Stillwell down low. Chris Cox dives down low. Good run off the top by Stillwell. Scheuer, Cox, Wesley, your top 4 or 3. We'll get a podium shot here with your top 3 and get a quick interview with those drivers. Give the win to Scott Scheuer, the driver out of Florida, takes a win on his home track. As the cars try to get lined up. And there they are, your top three. Again, we will get a word with them here momentarily. See if we can get Grant Wesley in the booth here. See Chris Cox and Scott Scheuer waiting for Wesley to come in. There is the 88. Grant Wesley in the 88. Animal Racing driver starts third, finishes third in that 88. Grant, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, it's been forever. Seems like Clayton always gets to interview you, man. Welcome back to the podium in that 88 car. How'd you get it done out there?
Oh man, I tell you what, we were all on top of each other, weren't we? Yeah, man, the track slicked off. My teammates were all real quick. We were on pretty similar stuff there. Chris, man, he was tough to beat. Yeah, initially I was thinking kind of run up on that cushion, but I'm not real great here at Volusia, and I quickly learned that wasn't the way around in these street stocks, and I found out that these things are actually faster right through the slick. So it didn't make any sense to me, but that's what was working. So that's where I put it. We salvaged a podium finish, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, man. Who do you want to thank for your drive to a podium finish on that 88?
Yeah, congratulations to Scott on the win there. I'd like to thank Clayton with the administration. I'd like to thank you, Joe, with Got Your Six Racing Network, for the broadcasting. I'd like to thank A&J Landscaping, Gears Unlimited, and Billy Roberts, Battalion Motorsports, Tight Lines Apparel. I'd like to thank my teammates, Scott, Rick, Ryan, Zane. I'd like to thank my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend, Brittany.
All right, man. See you in the big blocks.
Will do.
All right, man. Good run. We will pull up Chris Cox in the 515. Chris Cox drives the 515 to a podium finish, comes home P2. Chris, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, you led a good portion of that. What happened up front?
Well, the track just changes and cars change, and sometimes you just don't have what it takes to finish P1 and at the end, but you get up there in the middle.
Yeah, man, great run. You can't complain about that. What part of the track wore out? It looked like we were just talking to Grant that middle was the place to be in street stocks. Did you ever think about going to the middle, or were you looked like you were right on the edge of the marbles up there?
I kind of tried to in the middle, in the middle and towards the end, but all race, my car just felt like it just had no front grip, and going through that middle and that slick, it's like an ice skate rink. You're just gonna start skidding, and if you ain't got the front grip, then you don't know if you're just gonna over rotate or what's gonna happen. And I just couldn't trust the car, so I just kind of stayed where I knew I could keep the grip on the right rear and just try to get her done. And they just ended up pulling around me and getting a better run out the corner.
Yeah, man, you still got her done. You got a podium finish in P2 in the 515. Who do you want to thank for your drive to a podium finish?
I'd like to thank MJC Desktop Fabrications. I'd like to thank all the guys over at Outlaw for putting this on, you for broadcasting this, and Chris Beavers. Haven't talked to him in a while, but I'd like to thank him because that setup that he gave me probably 2 years ago still works. Didn't know it would work until probably an hour ago when I just threw it on and it randomly worked. So, yep.
All right, man. Good run. Can't wait to watch the big blocks. Scott Scheuer in the 57 car takes home the victory on his home state track. Scott, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe. Go ahead.
Man, you were patient. You were just working every lap. It looks like you were the first to find that middle groove right through the slick. Seemed to be the quick way around. How'd you discover that?
These cars, man, I tell you, they're just so underpowered that a lot of times that slick, they're faster, and we were fortunate to find it there just towards the end of it. Actually, before that, we started to go up high and started making up some ground, and then I about wrecked Chris there, and apologize for that. But after that restart, we decided, you got to race where they're not.
Yeah, matter of fact, we actually said that on the broadcast. You're not going to beat them by running the same line. So you found the quick way around, my friend. Animal racing. 3 of you finished in the top 4, so you can't beat that. Great setup on that ride, man. Who do you want to thank for your drive to victory lane on your home state track?
Animal racing, of course. Grant, Rick, and Brian over there. If we can keep Rick out of the wall, he might have something for us, but we'll work on that a little bit. Stars Motorsports, got your 6 racing network. You guys do an awesome job. Gears Unlimited, Clayton for putting this on, and all the good drivers in this series. Appreciate it all very much.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to watch the big blocks. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are your podium finishers in the dirt street stocks here at Volusia. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the big block modifieds right back here at Volusia. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with 1 combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. It automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. And so that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. You know, there's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. I mean, we've seen 4 eagle rays at once. I mean, just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced, it hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take, you know, these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, you know, from being, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. You know, I've gone snorkeling a few times, or, you know, I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You know, you're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have zero experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
Mission 22 was founded on the timeless principle that America's warriors are equally valuable overseas as they are within our borders. We are unwaveringly committed to the journey back home and understand the barriers our heroes face when making the often arduous and taken for granted transition home. Trauma is an opportunity. While bleeding, hidden pains of the past can never be removed. We can transform them into something brand new and beautiful. We can grow through trauma to become our community's cornerstone, the safest neighbor on the block, the strongest leader in the office, the most caring volunteer at the elementary school. The Recovery and Resiliency Program is a year-long, and it uses everything from cutting-edge biometric tools to science-backed supplements. This is a catalyst to take the deep scars suffered for our nation's sake and turn them into opportunities to direct our God-given purpose and energies as protectors toward a refreshed and meaningful life. By committing to this year-long program, you will be happier, stronger, and wiser. Your PTS and/or TBI may not leave you, but you will be more comfortable in your own skin, and your suffering will begin to have meaning. Our goal is to give warriors one thing, the truth. Let's take responsibility for our healing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at Volusia, getting ready for Tight Lines Apparel Quick Time Qualifying. Have a passion for the great outdoors and fishing? Tight Lines Apparel has all your fishing apparel needs for the whole family, from women's to men's and youth sizes. Family owned and operated, Tight Lines Apparel has a passion for the outdoors. Everything is custom made to order, from tees to hoodies. Tight Lines Apparel is your one-stop shop for all your fishing apparel needs. Act now and use code SIMRACERSHIP for free shipping on your order. That's SIMRACERSHIP for free shipping. Be sure to give them a like and follow on Facebook and Instagram, and get the whole family set up with Tight Lines Apparel. Keep it tight with Tight Lines Apparel. Currently, Jax Jan at the top of the board in this practice session. We got about 1 minute left to go. A 6.668 for Jax Jan. Scott Scheuer P2, Wesley 3, Vitali 4, Vitali Jr. 4, and Michael Vitali in P5. We got about 30 seconds before we get into Tight Lines Apparel Quick time qualifying at Volusia in the open setup big block modifieds on Outlaw Racing League. Jax Jan still at the top of the board with that 16,668, the best time so far.
A little bit of a behind the scenes update for our viewers. Got a little bit of video proof. The 38 did in fact lose steering off of turn 4. That was not intentional. He showed me his steering input there. Immediately went to the clutch and the brake to try and stop the car. So the skepticism, whatever you want to call it, has been resolved.
It's a what do you call it? A something theory. I can't remember.
I didn't think it was intentional. It just, we don't want that stuff here in the league, and sometimes you just gotta check. Especially somebody like Rick, very clean, honest driver. And he said, I had a feeling, so I went ahead and clipped a replay. Had a feeling we'd have to talk about it. So very good guy, very upfront. I appreciate that out of Rick there and all those animal guys racing with the integrity that they do have. All good from up top.
Chris Cox coming off of turn 4 at the line for the 5:15. The clock will start as Chris Cox, the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa, is out on track. Coming off of turn 4, will Chris Cox be able to put it home for the Tight Lines Apparel? Stillwell to the top of the board with a 16,624. So put the 09 Animal Racing's Ryan Stillwell at the top of the board. He comes in for his second lap. A little bit slower. Rick Gibson out on track. Michael Vitale in P3, 16,672 for Vitale. 38 of Rick Gibson coming off of turn 2. Enters 3, running the bottom is the 38. Gets a good exit off of turn 4. Gibson, quick time, 16,512 for Rick Gibson in the 38 machine. Jesse Baker, the newcomer with us in that 17 car. See if he has anything for Rick Gibson. Rick Gibson wraps up with that 16,512 being his quick time as the 17 car of Jesse Baker takes the green flag for qualifying. Carries that left front the entire backstretch. Coming off of 4. Third quick, 16,614. Anthony Vitale Jr. on track takes a skinny exit off of turn 4. Second quick, 16,542. So far, nobody has anything for the 38 car of Rick Gibson. Jax Jan out on track. Quick time qualifier earns $10 for the quick time. Again, as you know, brought to you by Tight Lines Apparel. Jax Jan takes the green flag for his qualifying run in the 24. Running the bottom in 1 and 2. Running the bottom in 3 and 4. Can the youngster take over the quick time here? Top of the board, 16,440. And he will shut it down after 1 lap. Scott Scheuer in the 57. Animal Racing driver. Let's see how he does on his first lap. We saw Jan really run the bottom. He was stuck on that inside fence. Scheuer, 5th quick, 16,568. Jake Henry with us in the 171 coming off of turn 4. 10th quick for Jake, 16,680. He'll shut it down. So it looks like Jax Jan with a 16,440 will take home the Tight Lines Apparel quick time. As we are getting ready to go heat racing here. Should have 2 heat races. Jax Jan with your quick time will have lane choice at the front of the field. As the drivers are taking the grid, still waiting on Scheuer, Jan, and Eddie Neal. There is Jax Jan. In the 24 car, will be on the inside of row number 1 with Anthony Vitale Jr. to his outside in the 21 machine. Scott Scheuer, the driver out of Florida and won the dirt street stock. 57 will be on the inside of row number 2 with the 09 of Stillwell to his outside. Michael Vitale will be on the inside of row number 3 with Eddie Neal to his outside. Lane choice is Jack Jans. He will take the outside after qualifying on the bottom. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Jackson knows these modified super well. We'll see what that 24 can do here in this heat race.
10 laps to get it done. Everybody advancing to the feature. Base truck is off. As is the 24. Good start by Jax Jan in the 24. He's going to run a cut down line. 21 car of Anthony Vitale Jr. goes with him. Scott Scheuer in P3. Stillwell and Michael Vitale side by side for P4. Eddie Neal at the rear of the field in the 318 trying to get it done. Jax Jan up front. So we are nose to tail. Stillwell, Vitale. Boy, they got nose to tail quick, Clayton.
Yeah, Volusia's right now in these modifieds very, very single file track. Wait till it slicks off though. We're going to see a lot of great 2-wide racing all through our feature, especially 40 laps. These big heavy cars, a lot of power. They're going to eat away that middle, and we're going to see some good 2-wide racing like we did in the street stocks.
On board with Anthony Vitale Jr. in the 21 car. Can't do much with Jax Jan. Let's go on board with the youngster. As he comes off at turn 4, we'll take a lap around Volusia with Jax Jan. Coming into turn 1, looks like Jax enters right on the marbles. Cuts down a little bit there. But he'll enter turn 3 right against the fence on the inside. Low entry off of turn 4. That is a lap around Volusia with one of the best, Jax Jan, in that 24 machine. Anthony Vitale Jr., Scott Scheuer, Ryan Stillwell. Don't know what happened to Vitale. I don't see the 213 off the pace much, but he has fallen back into the grasp of the 318 of Eddie Neal.
Actually, in a modified at Volusia, I mean, I cannot touch Michael Vitale at a Volusia race in a modified to save my life. If we do late models or UMPs, I got him. But a big block, that 213 is so fast around here. Kind of curious. Maybe a wrong setup or one too many clicks on something. That 213 is definitely off the pace from what I'm used to seeing right now.
Yeah, for sure. Michael Vitale and I battled it out in a 358 modified in a veterans event for Coast to Coast Racing League. And, man, it doesn't get much better than the 213. Jax Jan slowly pulling away from the field. Coming to 1 to go. Jax Jan takes the white flag. Jan, Vitale Jr., Scheuer, Stillwell. Your top 4. And that's how they will end heat number 1. Jan, Vitale Jr., Scheuer, Stillwell, your top 4. Rick Gibson will roll off on the front row with the 88 car of Grant Wesley to his outside. Jesse Baker in the 17 on the inside of row number 2 with the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa, Chris Cox to his outside. And Jake Henry will round out your field of 5 drivers in heat number 2. 10 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature.
Both of our pole sitters are going to take the top for their heat races.
Monkey see, monkey do.
I guess so.
See if Grant Wesley has anything for that 38. Once again, you got an animal racing front row.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, do not sleep on that 17 newcomer Jesse Baker. Found him from SLR. Very, very fast and unmodified. We'll see what the 17 can do here coming to the green.
Pace truck is off. We are on board with Grant Wesley. Green flag is out. We are underway. Good restart by that 38 car. 17 car of Jesse Baker in P4. Grant Wesley falls back behind the 515. Jake Henry throws it in there shallow in turn 4. Pulls up alongside Henry. Or Baker, my apologies. Up front, Rick Gibson pulling away from the field. Grant Wesley P2, Chris Cox P3. Jake Henry going to battle it out with Baker. Henry down low. Henry out the line in the 171. The 17 of Jesse Baker running that, trying to find that middle groove. As the 171 breaks away slightly on lap 3 of 10. I'm kind of surprised that I'm not surprised that he's up front, but he has opened up a pretty big gap over his teammate Clayton.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that 38's got in it right now, but he is flying around Volusia here. Halfway through this heat race, that 38 looks untouchable right now.
Putting a gap between himself and his teammate Grant Wesley. We don't see that often. Grant Wesley in P2. Jake Henry now moves up to P3. He makes a move on Chris Cox. Good run by the 171, Jake Henry. Love the paint scheme. See if we can get a better picture of that Gears Unlimited wrap on that ride. Got Outlaw Racing logo on the nose of the 171. As Rick Gibson pulls away from the field. Grant Wesley P2, Henry P3, Chris Cox and Jesse Baker. Round out your field of 5 drivers on lap 8 of 10. Two to go. As Rick Gibson takes the white flag, has a healthy almost 1.5 second lead over Grant Wesley. So something that 38 car likes what it's got in it right now. He will take the win, followed by Wesley, Jake Henry, Chris Cox, and Jesse Baker.
Like to get a word with our heat race winners. Jax, this is Clayton in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, dominant performance out of that 24. Not too surprised that I'm modified. Man, what's it going to take in that 24 car here in the feature to get a win?
I don't know. We just need luck. So we got the setup on our side. I don't know. We just need to make passes early. I think we're rolling up P5 or something.
Yeah, for the feature, you should be rolling
Fourth.
off P4 here, second row outside. You think the top's going to kind of be in your favor early on, or would you rather have the bottom?
I want that. I want the bottom probably. Hopefully the track gets slick. It's not really too slick right now, but hopefully it gets there. I like the slicker track than tackier track.
We know that 24 is faster on a slick track, man. Best of luck here tonight in the feature.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll bring up Rick Gibson if you'd like to get a few words with him here, Joe. There you go.
Hey, Rick, it's Joe. How you got me?
I got you, Joe.
That 38 car was on rails, man. Almost a 1.5 second win over your teammate there. What did you find that no one else found?
Oh, just trying to be smooth. I was kind of panicking a little bit. Only got about a minute or two of practice in there and was 10th on the board. So asked the good old teammates over at Animal Racing, and they hooked me up with a pretty decent setup. So qualified pretty good, and then had a good heat race. So just trying to be smooth, not overdo the throttle, and yeah.
It worked for you, my friend. You can be starting up front here, P3, I believe. So wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it, boy.
Yeah, man. That is Heat 2 winner, Rick Gibson. As we are getting ready to go feature racing, 40-lap feature in the big block modifieds right here at Volusia. Waiting for the cars to take the grid. It will be Grant Wesley on the pole. Anthony Vitale Jr. P2.
Grant going to the top.
88 car, as you heard, will take the top. The leader does get to choose which lane. So Grant Wesley with the 21 car of Anthony Vitale Jr., who will be on the inside of him by the time we start. We talked to Rick Gibson in the 38. He's on the inside of road number 2 with the youngster Jax Yon to his outside. Scott Scheuer, Florida native at a home track, will roll off on the inside of road number 3 with Jake Henry in the 171 to his outside. It will be Ryan Stillwell in the 09 on the inside of row number 4 with Chris Cox to his outside. Jesse Baker, Michael Vitale on the inside of row number 5 with Jesse Baker to his outside. And Eddie Neal will round out our field of 11 drivers.
All right, Joe. We didn't do it for the street stock, sir, but who do you got?
Huh. I got to go with Jax Yon here. I think the 24 has what it takes to get around Volusia.
I got to take the driver on his inside. I think Rick Gibson, impressive run during his heat race. I think the 38's going to be up front here.
There you go. We both picked heat winners. As Grant Wesley gets away from the field, will Grant Wesley prove us both wrong? Jax Yon into P2. Rick Gibson now battling it out with the 171 of Jake Henry. Got tight racing here in the back. Chris Cox side by side with Ryan Stillwell. They make contact. Around he goes. Saw that one coming. Just happened to have the camera right on him there. Chris Cox into 515, battling it out with the 09. That's coming off of turn 4. All the calamity happens right about here. 17 car to his outside. Stillwell on the inside. Stillwell running right through the slick. Did not change his line. Collects the Vitale, and Eddie Neal is able to get by. Up front, Grant Wesley holds the lead.
As you say, why I get paid the big bucks. It's a tough call.
It is indeed a tough call. Grant Wesley will take the outside. He will be outside of the 24 of Jax Yon. That will move Jake Henry in the 171. I'm showing in P4. No EOLs.
And that's one of the closest ones I think I've ever had there, Joe.
That was a tough call.
Ryan just barely steps out hitting the slick. Just gets the right front to come up. Maybe a half a lane max. Kind of gives that one a wash. I thought it was the 515 coming down, but definitely movement on both sides.
And these guys having a little bit of problems getting lined up, but it looks like they are gathering it together as the pace truck will exit this time by. We made it 2 laps. Pace truck will exit, leave the field to the 88 of Grant Wesley. Driver out of Evansville, Indiana is off. Jax Yon tries to go with him. 38 is the first car running down on the bottom. It looks like he will lose a position on the bottom as Wesley and Jax Jan run the middle, right above the slick. We're side by side. The 09 of Stillwell was sideways. Battling it out with the 318 of Eddie Neal. Eddie Neal still side by side with the 17 of Baker. We're 2 wide in front of them. That is the 38 car of Rick Gibson and the 57 of Scott Scheuer. Jake Henry currently in the 4th position in front of the 2 animal drivers. Anthony Vitale Jr., Jax Jan. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, how about that 21 Anthony Vitale? He's got the fastest lap of the race by 0.2 of a second. Still holding fastest, put down an identical lap last time. Who knows? We might have a surprise winner, that 21 Anthony Vitale up front, keeping it smooth right now. We'll see what he can do as the track slicks off.
You know, the 21 has been super fast, has had some rotten luck. If he can put a full race, beginning to end, I think that 21 is going to be pretty tough. As Jan goes down to the bottom, Wesley goes by on the outside. Jan not able to stick the pass. Those 3 under a blanket. Wesley, Jan, Vitale Jr. Then you fall back.
See.
Yes, absolutely. They are battling it out. Jan down low, Wesley up high. It will be Wesley at the line.
Yeah, if you're Anthony Vitale Jr. there, you want those 2 guys up front to kind of be door-to-door, throwing sliders, checking up for each other.
Oh! Jan tries a slider, and it looks like the 24 stalled on the nose of the 88. We've Anthony Vitale Jr. in the 21, in P2. He will cross over the 24, coming off a turn 4. We're side by side at the line. Anthony Vitale Jr. down low. Slide job makes contact with the front of the 24. Grant Wesley benefits. Now Wesley will send it in. Caution comes out. Jake Henry was not able to make it through that contact. So the front 3 really getting aggressive up there. Looks like the 88 has to check up. Jax Jan then checks up. And the 171 is the car that pays for that contact. It will be Jax Jan at the front of the field. Anthony Vitale Jr. P3, 2. Grant Wesley P3. Getting ready to go back green on lap 10 of 40. So we still have a long way to go. They were battling it out like it was the last lap. We'll see if they settle into a pace here as the caution is extended.
Check who the leader was at the time of that incident.
Jax Jan on the inside of the 21. Grant Wesley behind him. Animal Racing running 2, 3, 4. Jax Jan will take the bottom, I guess. Pace truck is off, as is Jax Jan. Good restart. Vitali does not get the best restart, as Grant Wesley dives the 88 down low. Scott Scheuer will keep the 57 on the high side. Wesley trying to get that bottom to work. Coming off of turn 4. It looks like Scott Scheuer with the advantage in the 57. 88 gets to the top side. Vitali in the 213 gets to the rear bumper of the 88 car, has to check up. 38 car, Rick Gibson, he's still running the bottom underneath the 17 car. Now we're going to go 3 wide. They back out of it as Vitali battles it out with Grant Wesley. Up front, Jax Jan getting away from the field. We're still, yikes, Rick Gibson, 2 wide, about as close as you can get. Thought about 3 wide there with Gibson on the bottom. 318 of Eddie Neal in the middle. The 17 car, that is Jesse Baker, up 4 positions from his start in the 17. Pulls up in front of Eddie Neal in the 318. Rick Gibson all the way back to 8th position. He is still looking at the bottom. Top 4, nose to tail. Jan, Vitali Jr., Scheuer, Wesley, Michael Vitali in the 213. Now Jesse Baker. Oh, contact between the 38 of Gibson and the 318 of Eddie Neal. Eddie Neal giving the bottom a go, as is the 09 of Ryan Stillwell. Somebody into the outside fence. Jake Henry shuts it down on the track. See what happened here. 171 car running that high side, just jumps over the cushion there.
Looks like he just called it a night here in the feature.
Man, sometimes when you're a driver, you just gotta, it's time to go. Shut it down. Shut it down the middle of the backstretch, doesn't matter where you're at. 171 parks it at the exit of turn number 2. Jax Jan will start here. A little bit of issues here with SDK. Shouldn't have done the update. Jax Jan will take the outside.
I was just about to say, he took the bottom last time. Now he's switching it up as the bottom's going away. Going to try and put that 21 in the slick for the start. See if he can't get a good advantage.
He will open up a pretty decent lead over the 21. Vitali falls in line. Now Scott Scheuer looks at the bottom, leaves his teammate to the outside. We've seen that car on the bottom fall back tonight quite a bit. Now there's quite a few takers down there. 318 of Eddie Neal is running down there. 17 gets wicked loose off a 2. Washes up the track. He will lose a ton of positions. Eddie Neal side by side with Rick Gibson. Those two settle out. We're going to go single file. Jax Jan, Anthony Vitali Jr., Grant Wesley, 1, 2, 3, currently in podium positions. We're on coming to lap 24 of 40. Laps are going by much quicker in the big block modifieds than they did in the street stocks for sure, Clayton.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching this leader's line. Jack's up front, kind of running a slider line in 1 and 2, and then he almost runs like half of the track in 3 and 4. He's in the slick. Anthony Vitale behind him going to do the same thing. That 21 is strong. This is probably the strongest I've ever seen that 21 here at Outlaw. He's looking really, really good right now.
As Vitale Jr. in that 21 car trying to reel in your leader on lap 26 of 40. Slider line by Jan. That time Vitale Jr. stayed to the outside of the slick the whole way around. A little bit of a cut down run there by the 21. Scheuer in P4. We're going to go side by side. That is Rick Gibson. Looks inside the 213. He'll make the pass. Move Rick Gibson up to P5. Jax Jan slowly pulling away from the field. If these guys don't go get that 24 here soon, Jax will run away with this one.
Yeah, Jax is definitely not the guy you want running up front in clean air, because there's almost no way you're catching him. We got Rick Gibson in the wall on the backstretch. Gonna keep it clean. I was just about to talk about him too. But technically, I didn't give him the broadcaster's curse there.
Into the wall on the front stretch. That car has to be damaged. It cannot be. Let's go on board and see how he is struggling with that 38 machine. I don't know if the setup has just gone away or what is going on. Looks like the car is still handling okay. Front end looks straight. He hit that wall pretty hard in the front stretch.
Yeah, he got them both pretty good. And two of the hardest points of contact you can have at this track, and he got them both. I'm surprised that 38's still able to drive right now.
Jax Jan at the front of the field, almost a 1.5 second gap between himself and Anthony Vitale Jr. on lap 33 of 40. Coming to lap 34. These guys behind Jax Jan are running out of time as we thought about 3 wide. Vitale, Stillwell, and Baker. Baker had to check up. That opens the door for Eddie Neal in the 318. Right rear hanging out on the 318. Makes me move out of my seat a little bit. Jax Jan up front, coming to lap 36 of 40. Now he's got still about the same, with 1.4 seconds lead over Vitale Jr. Grant Wesley in the 88. Scott Scheuer, he'd like to go back-to-back podiums on his home track. Stillwell in P5. Eddie Neal in the 318. He's up 5 from his start. Gives the right rear to Michael Vitale. Vitale will cross over here, and not enough room for a slider. Vitale thinks better of it. Keeps that 213 down low. This is the best battle on the track. This is for P6. Gibson now pulling up to the rear bumper of the 213. You're not missing much up front. 1 to go. Jax Jan takes the white flag in the 24. Slider line through 1 and 2. 2 more corners to navigate for the youngster in the 24. He's going to run right above the slick in turn 4. Coming off of 4. Jan with the win. Anthony Vitale Jr., Grant Wesley, Scott Scheuer, Stillwell, Neal, Gibson, Vitale, Baker, and Chris Cox. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily. Coming up next in Outlaw Racing are the Pro Late models, so can't wait to see that. Grant Wesley puts it on the podium for the second time tonight. Waiting for the cars to line up. We will get a word with your top 3. We'll catch up here with the 88 car first. Clayton, you got Grant Wesley when he gets up into the booth here.
Yes, sir. Just snapping this photo real quick. There we go.
The 88 car of Grant Wesley puts it on the podium for the second time tonight.
I'll bring up Grant here. Grant, this is Clayton in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, good run for you. Go start on the pole, kind of fall back a little early and maintain. 21 Anthony Vitale showing some speed I've never seen before out of that 21 car, man. But you bring it home P3. Man, what did you think it was going to take to get a win here tonight?
Well, that's starting on the pole was my only shot. I mean, because I knew I wasn't the best car tonight in the big blocks, that's for sure. Man, Jack's class of the field from practice to finish of the feature. I mean, he was on rails. So, congratulations to Jax. Yeah, and then also, like as you referred to, the 21 Anthony, man, awesome run by him. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but yeah, he was quick. I mean, I couldn't touch him. I really didn't have anything for this too. I was just kind of running the top. I really didn't. I decided instead of searching around, I'd just kind of stick with what was safe there. I didn't feel like it was going to make much of a difference for how far I was off.
Yeah, man, another great run there for you. Who do you got to thank on that 88 tonight for getting it done?
Yep, as always, thank you, Clayton, for everything you do. Joe with Got Your Six Racing Network, thanks for the broadcast. A&J Landscaping, Gears Unlimited, Billy Roberts, Vitale Motorsports, and Tight Lines Apparel. My teammates with Animal Racing, Rick, Ryan, Scott, Zane, my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend, Brittany.
Awesome run, man. Congratulations on a podium finish. Moving up, not moving up in the points, but hopefully giving yourself a little bit more in the cushion, a little bit of ease for you there on the tension on the points battle going on. But best of luck in the late models.
Yep, that's one race closer to getting a points championship, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
Anthony Vitale Jr. in the 21 car. He starts second, finishes second. Anthony, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, that 21 car was pretty quick tonight. How'd it feel?
It felt really good. I actually got to thank Jax for helping me out tonight. Yeah, he helped me out a little bit and got me set up for tonight. And he actually ran pretty good.
Yeah, man, you weren't up a second place finish on the podium tonight at Volusia, man. What line do you think you could have caught Jax?
Absolutely not. I was searching around. I was going high. I was going low. I was going middle, and I had nothing for him.
What lane was most comfortable for the 21?
I would say probably the top side for me. It was just smooth. We were able to just run there and maintain. I held about a second and a half lead, second behind him for most of the race. Once he pulled that away, and I kind of maintained that. Every time I searched around, I lost a little ground on him.
All right, man. So the question of the day, you going to run that real modified this year?
Oh, yes, sir.
When's it start?
We'll be starting up in April. Orange County Fair Speedway in New York.
Man, can't wait for the reports from the 21. Man, I'd love to watch some footage if you can capture it. So races in real life, put on a show tonight in Volusia on the sim. Great run by that 21. Sir, who would you like to thank for your drive to victory lane?
I'll start off by thanking Jax for helping me out tonight, and then everybody else on the Vitality Motorsports team, Big O Fuels, JRS Homes, O&R Paint and Saft Electric, Pine Bush Beer and Liquor, Lagodia Pizza, and Outlaw Racing, Billy Roberts with Gears Unlimited, everyone here on Gears Unlimited, and you for putting these on.
Yeah, man. Great run. See you in the pro late models.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, man.
Bring up our race winner here, Jax Young. Jax, this is Clayton in the booth. You got me, bud?
Yep.
Hey, man. Started fourth. We talked to you earlier before the feature. You said you were going to have to kind of get lucky and pass a few cars. And, man, did you do it. You run away almost a second and a half by the time we finished the race. Couple cautions, but you kept it cool. Kept it up front, man. How'd that 24 car feel around Volusia tonight?
I don't know. The track came to me. Track started to get faster and faster and faster for me. The setup came in at the end. We were just easy on the throttle. I don't think I was full throttle one time on the track at all. I don't know. We were fast.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. Congrats on another modified win. That's 2 weeks in a row for you. Who do you got to thank on that 24 car for getting it done?
Yeah. I like to thank Black Sheep Racing Setups. Jake Brissett for getting me where I belong. Outlaw Racing, you for putting on the league. Hell of a job. Joe for putting up the broadcast. I like to welcome Anthony Vitale on Black Sheep Racing. He was fast in that race. I thought he was gonna have something for me, but he was driving a little too hard. Can't overdrive in these cars. My mom, my dad, Gears Unlimited, Billy for I don't know. About it.
Yeah, well, sounds like you got yourself a new teammate there, man. That's a surprise, brother. Congratulations on another fast Black Sheep guy. We wish you the best. You're gonna run the pro late models here tonight.
No, I have a league. I do at 9 o'clock for 358s with Jake. Try to get Anthony in it, but he's probably gonna run the late models. But yeah, I'll be back next week.
Alrighty, man. We look forward to having you. Congrats on another win.
All right, thank you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are the big block modifieds at Volusia. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will be with the pro late models right back here at Volusia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, Some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, you know, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity, right now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at Volusia in the Pro Late Models. Grant Wesley, top of the board, 15.720. His teammate right behind him with a 17.729. Rick Gibson, looks like we got an animal racing 1, 2, 3, 4 in warm-ups. Rick Gibson in the 38, Ryan Stilwell in the 09, in P4, Eddie Neal P5. Looks like we will have 8 drivers for this main event. Getting ready for Tight Lines Apparel Quick Time Qualifying. Have a passion for the great outdoors and fishing? Tight Lines Apparel has all your fishing apparel needs for the whole family, from women's to men's and youth sizes. Family owned and operated. Tight Lines Apparel has a passion for the outdoors, and everything is custom made to order, from tees to hoodies. Tight Lines Apparel is your one-stop shop for all your fishing apparel needs. Act now and use code SIMRACERSHIP for free shipping on your order. That's SIMRACERSHIP for free shipping. Be sure to give them a like and follow on Facebook and Instagram, and get the whole family set up with Tight Lines Apparel. Keep it tight with Tight Lines Apparel. We should be wrapping up practice here. Grant Wesley will end up quickest in practice with a 15.627. We'll see if he can't take home the Tight Lines Apparel Quick Time Award. We'll follow the first car that comes out on the track. What are you expecting different out of the Pro Late models than the big block mods, Clayton?
One, they're going to be obviously faster, and two, if you roll out of the throttle too much in these cars, it will turn the car straight in the middle of the corner and push up. So we may have one or two pretty ugly incidents, even with the drivers of the caliber that we have. You never know. There could be a pretty bad little bit of contact here between 2 or 3 drivers tonight.
Chris Cox takes his first lap, 15.882. Grant Wesley backs up his quick time in practice. Ryan Stillwell to the top of the board, 15.651. Newcomer Jesse Baker in the 17 out on track. First lap, 15.889. Good enough for fifth quick. Scott Scheuer out on track for his first lap in the 57 machine. Anthony Vitale Jr. times in 15.748. Good enough for fourth quick in the 21 machine. Let's see if Scott Scheuer in the 57 has anything for his teammates at the top of the board. Scheuer coming off of turn 4. Third quick, 15.669. Eddie Neal out on track. Sixth quick, 15.825. Will Scott Scheuer have anything better on his second lap at the line? Scheuer, quick time, 15.649, bumps his teammate off of the quick time pole award. Looks like we do have a Animal Racing 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll have a couple of heat races, and we will get into your 40-lap feature race. Scott Scheuer in the 57 will take the inside on the start. He got his teammate to his outside. That is the 38, the Navy driver, Rick Gibson. Waiting on Anthony Vitale Jr. to grid. Chris Cox in the 515 will start on the outside of road number 2. And Michael Vitale will start behind Anthony Vitale Jr. when Anthony grids here. Scott Scheuer putting that 57 on the pole with a super quick time here. I think Scheuer probably has to be the favorite. There is the 21. We are now gridded and ready to go. 10 laps in heat number 1. See if the 21 can pick up where he left off in the big block modifieds. Lights are on here at Volusia. I don't know what the weather is for real in Florida this time of year. Clayton, that's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, mid-70s sounds about right this time of year, but I can guarantee you it feels like 90 knowing the state of Florida.
Yeah, we headed out the door to the track on Saturday. It was 29 degrees in California. As the green flag comes out, Scott Scheuer opens up a lead over his teammate, the 21 car, trying to pick up where he left off. Anthony Vitale Jr. trying that inside. Running hard, as you said, just got off the throttle. The 21 pushed up the track, just as you described, Clayton.
Yeah, that car got extremely tight there entering. Luckily, Chris Cox didn't turn him. Chris able to lift and kind of get around him. Anthony driving into 3. It's such a fine line these things have to run. You know, you saw him get a little too loose there on entry. Anthony's definitely got his hands full back there in that 21.
Scott Scheuer on the point, got his teammate. That is Rick Gibson running in P2. Michael Vitale in the 213 running P3. Chris Cox P4. Anthony Vitale, he has not recovered from that incident where the car got super tight in the middle of 3 and 4. We are on lap 4 of 10. Scott Scheuer showing the way for his teammate. Scheuer, Gibson, we are nose to tail. Once this track wears out, we should have multiple grooves, multiple lanes of racing here at Volusia on lap 6 of 10. Scheuer has a half-second lead over his teammate on lap 7 of 10. Scheuer, Gibson, Vitale, Cox, Vitale Jr. is your running order in the 5 in heat number 1.
Very strung out right now. Doesn't look like anybody's really gaining or falling off here as they cross the timing stripe on the backstretch here. It's just such a tough car to get next to somebody. Best thing you can do is kind of ride behind and maybe hope for a mistake. These things are definitely a handful when it comes to passing.
Go on board with second place, Rick Gibson, with 1 lap to go. Scheuer takes the white flag. Gibson trying to make up ground. I don't think he's going to be able to close that gap. As the 57 comes off of turn 4, it will be Scheuer, Gibson, Michael Vitale, Chris Cox, and Anthony Vitale Jr. So once that 21 car got loose, he was done for the night. He was not able to get back up towards the front. Heat 2, getting ready for another 10 laps.
Stillwell on the bottom.
09 of Stillwell on the inside of the front row with his teammate. That is Grant Wesley in the 88 machine, the driver out of Evansville, to his outside. Eddie Neal will roll off on the inside of row number 2 with the 17 car of Jesse Baker to his outside. Got 10 laps to get it done. Starting position in the feature on the line. Animal Racing front row. See if those two behind him, Eddie Neal and Jesse Baker, have anything for the front two. Pace truck will exit this time by. We will get underway. 40-lap feature coming up after this heat race. Pace truck is off. As is the 9 car. Boy, he cut that close to the wall on the start. 09 of Ryan Stillwell to the lead. Eddie Neal takes a peek underneath the 88. Can't quite get it done. Grant Wesley with a good run off a 2 on the high side. Animal Racing 1-2. Baker now. He pulls inside of Eddie Neal. The 17 car gets loose in the middle of the turn into the outside wall. Car would not turn. We've seen that one time before tonight, as Stillwell will lead lap number 2. We are on lap number 3 of 10. Stillwell and Grant Wesley, Eddie Neal in P3, and Baker at the tail end of the field. Does Grant Wesley have anything to reel in his teammate? Let's take a look from the rear bumper of that 09 to see if the 88 car is closing at all. Looks like they're running a similar line. Both of them running right on the edge of the marbles. It actually looks like the right tire of Stillwell, the car that we are on, is actually going over the marbles there. So he's trying to open up a new groove.
Yeah, Stillwell's got about half a second on his teammate there. Both of them running the high side. Kind of surprised right now. Volusia's definitely faster on the bottom to start the night out with, but who knows? Maybe they're just up there They know they maybe have a 1 and 2 finish here in the heat race with only a few to go. Maybe they're just working in that top a little early so they can use it for the feature.
Yeah, or trying to wear it out. Stillwell, Wesley, Eddie Neal in P3. Jesse Baker still digging in the 17 car at the tail end of the field. On lap 8 of 10, coming to 2 to go. It is Stillwell by almost a second over his teammate, the 88 car of Grant Wesley. Coming to the white flag. Wesley in the perfect position for the feature start. As both drivers take the white flag, Stillwell and Wesley at the front of the field. Wesley in no big hurry to get up there and pass his teammate, I don't think. Stillwell coming off of 4. Stillwell, Wesley, Eddie Neal coming off of 4. Eddie Neal and Jesse Baker is your finishing order. We will have 2 minutes of warm-up. Clayton, you going to bring up the feature winners or the heat winners?
Yes, sir. We'll start with Ryan Stillwell here. Ryan, it's Clayton in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, you pulled away almost 3/4 of a second on your teammate there. You guys kind of started working the top end as the heat race went on. Are you guys trying to blow off that top for the feature, or was that the fast way around?
It's the fastest way around, but also kind of working it in, so hopefully it goes away in time to bring some good 2-lane racing for everybody. That's the goal, is to get the track where we want to be able to race.
Absolutely, man. What's starting? I believe you'll be rolling off here. Looks like third, bottom, second row. What's it going to take in that 09 to get a feature win?
There's a lot of good cars in front of me, and some good cars behind me. So it's really just consistency and capitalizing when they make mistakes.
I hear that, man. Well, best of luck in the feature. We hope we're talking to you again here soon.
Yep. Thanks, sir.
Getting ready for the 40-lap feature. We got about 30 seconds until the start. Drivers checking their setups. Probably getting a little quick break, drink of water. Getting ready to battle it out here at Volusia.
I'll bring up Scott Scheuer for you here, Joe.
Scott, this is Joe. You got me?
I do, sir.
Man, another good run at your home track. What's it going to take?
I'm hoping this track will slick up just a little bit and get some good side-by-side racing, but I think just trying to stay, get to the front and stay out there and stay out of trouble.
All right, man, outside row number 2. So is that where you want to be?
Well, no, I'd like to be outside row in the front row, but we got to do what we got to do. So, but I'm glad I'm on the outside, that's for sure.
All right, man, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. That was Scott Scheuer, winner of heat number 1. Grant Wesley will roll off on the pole and will have lane choice. We got Grant Wesley. He picks the bottom. 38 car Rick Gibson to his outside. Ryan Stillwell, Scott Scheuer for a 4-car Animal Racing starting at the front of the field. Michael Vitale in the 213 on the inside of row number 3 with Eddie Neal to his outside. 515 of Chris Cox on the inside of the newcomer Jesse Baker in the 17 car in row number 4. And Anthony Vitale Jr. will roll off at the tail end of the field. Got 40 laps to get it done. The final feature of the night. Pace truck will exit this time by. I don't know if there's enough cars to really slicken this track off. I think there's enough cars to make it where we'll have 2-lane racing. Clayton, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that middle evolution doesn't take much. I think these guys will slick it off. I say the second half of this race is going to be very too wide, racy, just like these guys want it to be.
Green flag is out. Grant Wesley with a great restart. Rick Gibson in P2. Ryan Stillwell on the inside, running the bottom as Scott Scheuer goes way high. Eddie Neal, they make contact. Scheuer around and over he goes. That didn't play out well.
318 comes up, gives him the bump.
Just hits him in the door. Nowhere for Vitali to go. So we'll line him up and try again. 1 lap down. As we will wait for the 57 car to get back in the fight. Currently in the pits will be Grant Wesley at the front of the field with his teammate Rick Gibson now to his outside. Looks like Wesley will take the inside. Ryan Stillwell will be on the inside of road number 2 with Chris Cox to his outside. So looking to get, we're on lap 2. We'll come to green for lap number 3. Soon as that 57 car makes repairs. Waiting on the 57 of Scott Scheuer to get that car repaired.
Yeah, I just did a quick, I just got in, did a quick pace lap around the track, just looking, and as an on-track reporter right now, I can tell you the slick has shown up in the middle. Only 1 lap into this race, I'm seeing the slick about twice as wide already as what we saw when we went to the green. This track's going to blow off really, really fast for these guys. I think we might see some good hard racing, maybe 10 to go, or only 10 laps into the feature, I should say.
There you go. That'll open it up for multiple groove racing. So looking forward to that as the lights are off on the pace truck. Scheuer finds his way to the back of the field. We're getting ready to go green. Animal Racing, 1, 2, 3. Chris Cox, the first non-animal racing driver on the outside of row number 2. Pace truck is off, as is the 88 of Grant Wesley. Good restart. Rick Gibson goes with him. 09 of Stillwell dives down low. Chris Cox in P4. We are nose to tail at the front. Chris Cox looking underneath the 9 of Stillwell. Can't quite make the pass. Slides up in line. Anthony Vitali Jr. in P6, followed by Scott Scheuer, Eddie Neal, and Jesse Baker. Up front, Grant Wesley goes way high, leaving room for the 38 of Rick Gibson. Put Rick Gibson into P1. 88 car's going to cross over. He's going to dive down low. Get on the inside fence. Will he get a good run off of 4? Yes, he will. 88 at the line. Grant Wesley with the lead. 38 of Rick Gibson outside the 88. Animal Racing 1, 2, 3, and they are not cutting each other any slack at all. Gibson once again at the line. Now Grant Wesley running the bottom as the 9 car gets by on the outside. Clayton, I'm not sure that bottom's the place to be this early.
No, definitely not right now. You want to be able to keep them wound up top for sure. Again, that slick is just getting bigger and bigger every lap we turn almost. These guys are going to have to get comfortable with the bottom here soon if they want to pick up some spots and possibly win this thing.
Now Chris Cox looking underneath the 88 car. Grant Wesley going for a three-peat of podium finishes. Chris Cox now falls off the pace, falls back into the grasp of the 213 of Anthony Vitale Jr. go on board as the 213 tries to navigate around the 515. Not able to close the deal. Vitale gets back to that outside. Couldn't quite make the pass. Up front, Rick Gibson, Stillwell, and Grant Wesley. Going to the bottom, hurt that 88 car early. He fell back from the pole into P3 as his teammates got by. Top three pulling away from the field. Lap 13 of 40. Gibson, Stillwell, Wesley, Cox, Vitale, Scheuer trying to make his way back through the field. Anthony Vitale Jr. in the 21 back there. Eddie Neal and Jesse Baker. We may have lap traffic here before too long. Yeah, Scott Scheuer in the 57. He gave the bottom a try last time by. He will cut down on the bottom once again underneath the 213 of Anthony Vitale. Can't quite get it to stick. That bottom has too much grip up high still. Coming off of turn 4, side by side, 213 and the 57. That is the best race currently on the track. We will stick with that battle as Vitale now pulls up to the rear bumper of the 515. Scott Scheuer dives down low. Now the 57 finds that high side. Back underneath the 213, side by side at the line. If he can go low in 3 and 4, high in 1 and 2, I think he can get it done. That running low in 1 and 2 is not agreeing with the 57 machine. He's able to close low in 3 and 4. Now Vitale's going to give the bottom side a look. Scheuer down low in 3 and 4. That works for the 57. Pulls up side by side with the 213. Just can't get a good run into 1 and 2. He will keep working it. Rick Gibson at the front of the field in the 38 machine. Stillwell in P2. Now Grant Wesley throws it down low in the 88. Caution comes out. Michael Vitale involved in an incident. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Scott Scheuer just came up and clipped him there and sent Michael Redden for a ride.
Into the outside fence. So that will gather the field back up. The 38 car of Rick Gibson having a heck of a run at the front of the field. We have made it halfway, lap 21 of 40 when we go back to green. See what lane Gibson takes here. I would think the outside, but it looks like he's staying down low.
Man, Michael Vitale's got some heavy damage on the rear. If not quite sure why he didn't take a fast repair there. Already towards the back after that unfortunate spin. That 213 might struggle a little bit here on this green flag run.
Pace truck is off. We are back underway. Gibson, maybe that was by design. His teammate lets him back onto the high side, the 09 of Stillwell. As we get back to nose to tail in a big hurry. Gibson, slider line in 3 and 4. Will that work? He will hold the lead. Grant Wesley getting underneath. We're about to go Animal Racing 3 wide. Looks like Chris Cox had an issue in the back there. Up front, Animal Racing drivers going at it. Lap 24 of 40. Wesley and Stillwell side by side for P2. Clayton, that's the second time we've seen a car try to run the bottom in 1 and 2. It just has not worked yet. Oh! Yikes! 9 car into the nose of his teammate. That will put Rick Gibson into the outside fence. .09 and the 38 car battling it out. That track is getting super slick on entry here. 9 car down low. Just doesn't quite make the pass. Nowhere for the 38 to go except into that outside fence. So Rick Gibson will get his spot at the front of the field as soon as he's done with his repair here. Got about a minute 30 seconds, I just heard, as that car is hurt.
Yeah, there's nothing left on the front end. I can tell you, I've seen a couple of those hit like that, truthfully, at Volusia Speedway, and man, they don't look anywhere near as good as the race car he has right now, and that's looking bad. So you can imagine in real life seeing something like that. That whole frame would look like the Incredible Hulk just grabbed it and gave it a good twist.
Yeah, you can see there's nothing left on the front end. So he will get his starting position back, get back to the front of the field. As the 09, since he goes for a quick repair, why not? If you're going to the back of the field, you might as well go back there with a fresh car.
Yeah, it's not a bad call by Stillwell. See what he can do here. Maybe pick up a few spots up there in the points. So every spot matters, and I guarantee you they're easier to get when you have a fresh race car after contact like that. Here comes our leader.
.38 car selects the bottom lane. So 2 Animal Racing drivers have gone to the back tonight. Scott Scheuer trying to battle back. Ryan Stillwell now will have to battle back from the back of the field. Rick Gibson will take the lead back over with a fresh race car. So we're getting ready to go green. Pace truck is off, coming to lap 26 of 40. Gibson with a great restart. Grant Wesley running the extreme high side. 21 of Vitale Jr. and Eddie Neal running 3 and 4. Neal slides in.
Pushes.
Oh my goodness. Anthony Vitale Jr. into the outside fence. There is the 21 car. You see the 318 of Eddie Neal come into the picture. Got the wheel turned. The car just won't cooperate. Around goes the 21 into the outside fence. Nowhere for the 17 to go. He's caught up in it.
I did not see the 21 coming down the way he did. that first time watching, but he definitely does come down about a lane and a half there.
Anthony Vitale Jr. in the 21 car will be at the tail end of the field, and that car is hurt. Going green this time by Rick Gibson, still at the front of the field, takes the inside. Green flag is out. We are back underway on lap 28 of 40. 38 car dives down low. Grant Wesley on the high side in the 88. The bottom seems to be working well in 3 and 4, not so well in 1 and 2. Gibson will leave it down there in 1 and 2. Will that open the door for the 88? Good run off the top side by Grant Wesley. He pulls even with his teammate. Can Gibson hold him off? He will in 3 and 4. This time by, I think the 88 gets the run off the top side. Gibson now slides up. Crossover coming from the 88. Put the driver out of Evansville, Indiana. Grant Wesley back on the lead. Oh, Wesley washed out on turn 4, way to the outside. So not so fast. Rick Gibson still holding on to the lead. Now Scott Scheuer has made his way into the battle. Scheuer battling it out with the 151 of Chris Cox on lap 32 of 40. Wesley on the bottom side, exit of turn 4, Wesley for the lead. Now Wesley stuck on the bottom side. The 38 car, side by side.
The yellow flag is out.
Caution comes out. '21 car pushes up at the exit of turn 4. Dives it down in, gets into the inside fence, and hits the 17 car. Meanwhile, Grant Wesley able to take over the lead.
Yeah, I just caught a glimpse of that. Got to give the 38 a wave here.
So we are winding down. We are on lap 34 of 40. We lap 35 next time when we go back to green. Animal Racing 1, 2, 3, and 5. Pace truck will exit. Pace truck is off, as is Grant Wesley in the 88. Little bit of contact in the back of the field. 38 car going down where I don't think he wants to be. Scott Scheuer with the run off the top side. All three will go down low in 3 and 4. Let's see what happens in 1 and 2. Now the 38 car is going to go down low. Able to hold off his teammate, the 57 of Scott Scheuer. On board with the 57 car of Scott Scheuer as he tries to get underneath his teammate. That is the 38 of Rick Gibson on lap 37 of 40. Laps are winding down.
Just as we talked about it earlier, that bottom's coming in good for the bottom in 3 and 4.
Stillwell made contact with Chris Cox. Now Scheuer pulls up alongside the 38. This is going to be the battle for P2. Good run off the top side by Gibson. 2 to go. Wesley on the bottom, coming off a turn 4, will take the white flag. Wesley, Gibson, Scheuer. How hard will these two battle? Animal Racing, 1, 2, 3. 88 car down to the bottom. Slider line to the flag. It is Wesley, Gibson, Scheuer, Stillwell. Animal Racing, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily. As the Animal Racing crew lines up for their podium picture. And we'll have a 4th in that picture. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily. Grant Wesley put on a show. Rick Gibson, he was getting it done up front, ran out of time. We'll get a word with Scott Scheuer as soon as he is up in the booth here. Good night for the Animal Racing crew.
Oh, I've got a race control situation going on here. I will try and be back.
There is Scott Scheuer. We will pull him up into the booth. The driver of the 57 car moves up 1 from his start. Scott, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, you got moved to the back there and worked your way back up towards the front. What was the key in that 57?
We got in a little bit of trouble there at the start of the race. Put us back over in the back, and just tried to stay steady and move back up through there. I think I was faster than they were in 3 and 4, but I just couldn't get back to the top. I couldn't clear them enough to get to the top side to get the run in 1 and 2. But congrats to Grant and Rick there, Animal 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, man. So that's what we were saying on the broadcast. It looks like the bottom in 3 and 4 was really strong, but then cars would get trapped and get stuck on the inside of 1 and 2, and that definitely wasn't the place to be. So, yeah, man, great strategy by Animal Racing 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, great run by you cats tonight, man. Who do you want to thank on that 57 for another podium finish at your home state track?
Animal Racing, of course. Stars Motorsports. You guys that got your 6. Gears Unlimited. Clayton putting on an awesome series here. We love running over here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Rick Gibson in the 38 car. He starts second, finishes second. Rick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, good run in the 38 tonight. Thought you were going to have it there. It looks like you went down low kind of before anybody else, and it looked like the 38 car kind of stalled out. Did you feel that?
Yep. So I went down there and tried it out. It felt real good, and then second time I'd go down there, just just get tight and couldn't really rotate it in. So I'd have to get off throttle, try and get it rotated, and just lost a lot of time. And that allowed Grant to get on the outside of me and just roll on by.
Yeah, we watched it time and time again where we were talking to Scott about this, where the bottom in 3 and 4 was strong, but if you were on the bottom in 1 and 2 with a car to your outside, that was almost a done deal. The outside car would prevail. So, man, ideally, the bottom in 3 and 4, if you could make it back up to the top, but that typically didn't happen because there was a car on their outside, man. Great run by Animal Racing, 1, 2, 3, and 4 tonight. Who do you want to thank on that 38 machine for your drive to victory lane?
Well, first I want to thank you guys for putting this on. You know, you broadcasting, Clayton up there making the hard calls that nobody wants to do. So it's really appreciated. My wife, my daughter for letting me skip out on some nightly duties and come and run with you guys. And then, you know, Scott Schroyer, Grant Wesley, Ryan Stillwell, Zane Walters, all the guys at Animal Racing. They just make it a blast time in, time out to run with them side by side. So, um, yeah, it's just always good to come out here and have a good run for once.
Yeah, man, great run by that 38. Congratulations on the podium finish.
Yep, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. The driver of the 88 car starts on the pole, ends in victory lane. Grant, this is Joe. You got me?
Yes, I got you.
Man, that looked like a bunch of fun. What did it take on that 88 to get that done?
Oh man, yeah, well, I said earlier Volusia is not my best track, so I think it showed tonight. My teammates were all faster than me for sure. Ryan, I couldn't have touched him in that heat race if I wanted to, but luckily I was able to start on the pole, and which is what I needed. My feature set was a little bit better, but man, Rick was fast. Ryan was fast. Ryan and Rick got together. That was an unfortunate circumstance there. I know Ryan was trying to do a slider or something. It didn't work out. But yeah, there at the end is a lot of fun racing with Rick. It always is. And the track slicked off. The track changed. We were all talking in our Discord. We were discussing where the grip was and what was working and what wasn't, and nobody really knew for sure what they liked, and I still wasn't set on anything, but I think I found something decent there at the end.
Yeah, man, it was a great night for animal racing in the pro late models specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. You got to be proud of that. And we haven't done this in a while, man. What's the weather report from Evansville, Indiana?
I think last I checked, I think we got a snowstorm coming this way. I think most of the country is getting it a little bit. I think it's supposed to snow here maybe tomorrow, but we're right there, southern Indiana. We're right in that weird spot where we get nothing but ice or rain or snow. You never know what it's going to be. So I'm thinking we might see some snow, but it may not stick.
Yeah, man, when we left for the track on Saturday morning, it was 29 degrees here in California, but man, we weren't going to let that ruin the day. If you haven't watched the YouTube video, you got to get out there and watch it. First time out on the track was an adventure, we'll call it. But it is cold out here in California also, my friend. So great run by you, man. Congratulations on the victory. Who do you want to thank on that 88?
Yeah, I watched that YouTube video, Joe. That's pretty cool. You need to get a zip tie on that passenger side door, though.
Yeah, that was an adventure.
I'd like to, the usual here. Clayton Hack, he's an awesome admin. We're all lucky to have him. You, Joe, awesome broadcasting. They're a lot of fun to watch back. A&J Landscaping, Gears Unlimited, and Billy Roberts. Vitali Motorsports, Tight Lines Apparel. I'd like to thank my teammates with Animal Racing. They had a great showing in this race. Congrats to all of them. Rick, Ryan, Scott, Zane. Thank my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend Brittany.
Yeah, man, great finish by Animal Racing tonight, man. I think your points lead was just expanded tonight. So great run overall for this week at Volusia. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty strong points lead going into the final points race next week. I'm really excited about that, and I'll be honored if I can pull off this first championship.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you do, I can't wait to congratulate you. So great run tonight.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, man. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is Outlaw Racing League at Volusia. Saw some really good racing tonight. So for now, we will sign off. We will be back Friday night with Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. So until then, we'll see ya.
Biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.